Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. On tonight's show, the North Dakota men's basketball team sweeps its two past games from this past week. Head coach Brian Jones is our leadoff man in just seconds. A little bit later in the show, we'll tell you about the annual Holiday Magic from Markus program, a program benefiting young people in the community who are experiencing major medical challenges, a program that the UND football team shoulders each season. Also, women's basketball coach Travis Brewster is on the show this evening. North Dakota defeated Bradley and Waldorf this past week. Men's basketball coach Brian Jones is back. Brian, good to be back with you again. 2-0 off 2 games. Good week for your team.
It was. It was obviously just getting back on the right track with a young team. Confidence was shaking a little bit after that Northern Iowa game, but I tell you what, give them a lot of credit because they had a great work week of preparation, and obviously it paid off.
What were a couple of common denominators in your wins?
I think defensively we were pretty solid. Even in the Waldorf game in the second half, that's where it changed. We didn't shoot the ball well, particularly well in either one of the games, but they didn't allow where the teams of the past have allowed their lack of shot making to affect their urgency on the defensive end. So I think that's what we saw in the second half of Waldorf, and then it definitely it led into the next 40 minutes against Bradley.
Does this set of guys like playing in the defensive end a little bit more than maybe some past teams?
I think so. I think it's just they understand the importance of it. I think when they've had success, the proof's in the pudding. And when they've seen the success they've had when we won games, it's because we've defended at a high level.
Yeah. All right. You played at Bradley this past weekend, a road game against the Missouri Valley Conference team, and this would go to double overtimes. Gino Crandall, though, got you off to a good start in this basketball game.
He did. He really did a good job of attacking the basket, which, you know, he's got to do that for us. That's one of his gifts he gives us, but it was good to get stuff at the rim for him and get us going early.
Connor Avance, 43 minutes out of your freshman Saturday, Coach.
He's as we talked about last week, his motor is just a different level, and he has to have that. Great pass by Carson right there, who played limited minutes. But Connor defensively has been outstanding for us. He just plays with such a high motor, and it really benefits our team.
And Quentin Hooker, well, one of his lines, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, a little bit of everything out of Quentin.
And that's what we need. I mean, he's just showing the leadership that he has. He hurt his foot, so he willed his way through those minutes in the double overtime.
21-20 Bradley at the half. What a second half you got from Corey Baldwin here.
Did it 2 games in a row. Waldorf second half, and then the second half against Bradley. Again, him just getting more confident, but he played within himself. He made shots for us, and he did a great job defensively as well.
All 20 of his career-high points coming after the half. When you talk about Corey Baldwin playing within himself, what's that mean for his game?
Making open shots, driving straight line, and just keeping it simple. I think too many new players and young players try to do things they can't do. And that's what, as you're seeing here, he's making open shots. Our guards are doing a good job of getting him open looks, but he just has confidence to do that.
You overcame a 10-point deficit in the second half to get the game even. Hooker at the end of regulation to win it, so you go overtime. First overtime, not a lot going on, so we go to the second overtime here, and you really played well. You scored on your first 8 possessions here in the second overtime.
Well, I just think that's where our guys really did a nice job of executing. You saw there, Drick didn't make the post move, just an extra effort play by Connor. And
heck of a step back there by Hooker.
I mean, that's a heck of a move there. And I don't know if you got the next one on it. He banks one in. We'll take that as well. But just again, that's just defensive end being in the right spot where positioning is important, and that was crucial for a big steal.
Hooker's big in the second overtime. He scored 8 of your 16 points, and you're going to pull away here in the second overtime and win 65-59. Good win for your young team on the road against the Missouri Valley Conference
No
team.
doubt. I mean, as we talked about, Bradley, their schedule is brutal. I mean, they have 4 or 5 BCS schools. They're a lot like us. They're young. They have talent, but it's a confidence thing, and they're just figuring some things out. But don't take it away from our guys. Our guys went in there very disciplined with a sense of urgency. And as I mentioned before, their preparation, their work week was outstanding. And I think that's, as we continue to move through the year, they have to understand that. That's what allows you to have a chance to win. All more away.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the Waldorf highlights here from last week. This was a tight game in the first half. As you said earlier, you pulled away in the second half. First half here, you go into work here, Quentin Hooker hitting the 3. And then as we take a look at other highlights in the first half, Drick Bernstein didn't score a lot in this game, but he distributed the ball well in this game.
Well, he is. He's a, as I say, a facilitating forward. He has the capability of leading us in assist, and again, he's a multi-dimension. That's a great pass right there, and and he's still getting comfortable himself. So I think in this game, what we saw, we didn't finish very well around the rim. If we would have, it may have been a different story in that first half. But again, you're seeing his playmaking, his passing ability, his unselfishness, which is, I think, that's our group as a whole.
Bernstein had 7 assists in the game. Gino Crannell had 17. And then you made a lot of plays in the defensive end. You had 11 steals in this game, 5 blocks in this game, and that was a big reason why you pulled away in the second half, don't you think?
I think so. Definitely that second half for sure. We really had active hands, great positioning, but the first half we allowed them to get 8 threes, and that's what kept it close. Yeah. And in this game, you just saw it right there. Connor took 3 charges, which is, is unheard of one guy taking 3 in a game. Just shows you he is really giving us a huge lift defensively at that center position, just being in the right spot.
78-58 the final. Let's look ahead, Brian. North Dakota State coming in on Friday night. We'll have it for you live here on Midco Sports Network. When you look at the Bison and how you match up with them, what do you see?
They're very talented. Obviously, they're led by their Jacobson right there, but they have so many different weapons, and they're a veteran team. They do have some youth, but that youth was the same youth that allowed them to win the conference tournament last year and go on and compete in NCAA play. Mm-hmm. So they don't beat themselves. They have a lot of weapons offensively.
Paul Miller being one of them.
Exactly. He's playing. He's much improved from last year. Those two, the 1-2 punch, extremely talented. As I mentioned, they don't beat themselves. So we're going to have to play at a high level because they are, definitely.
Looking for any particular defensive matchups when you talk about A.J. Jacobson and Paul Miller?
Well, it's tough because AJ's they play him at the undersized 4, but he's such a skilled player, and then obviously Paul Miller. Those two young men are just so talented. It's going to take a team effort. It's not one guy. It's just going to be our group being in the right spots.
All right, it's going to be fun Friday night. We're looking forward to having it here on Midco Sports Network. Thanks for your time, Brian.
Thank you.
7 o'clock Friday night, North Dakota State men's basketball. We're back with more after this.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back. The University of North Dakota women's basketball team continues its homestand this week as we speak, getting ready to play Western Illinois. North Dakota State comes into the Betty on Saturday, and UND is fresh off a win against Northern Iowa. The head coach, Travis Brewster, returns. Coach, thanks for your time. Good to be back with you. Good win for your team last Saturday. 64-59 over Northern Iowa, a quality team, and a quality win as you get to play a few home games consecutively here. What did you like about the game?
Ugly sweater night, ugly win. Take them how we can get them. I thought we executed down the stretch. We struggled a little bit there, I thought, in the beginning of the third and end of the second, but we kind of got ourselves going. And, you just got to figure out a way to get it done, especially at home in front of a great fan base like we have. So it was exciting.
What kind of step forward? Even if it was a small one, what kind of step forward was it for your team?
Well, the biggest thing is we were playing together. You saw more success when we worked the basketball. Everybody got their touches, and we kind of played without the basketball. That's something we've been working on. The better you can play without the ball in the hands, the better off you're going to be down the road because you'll be able to execute more. And you see that in some of the highlights coming up.
All right, and let's take a look at the highlights here. As you said, the crowd was into this game Saturday afternoon inside the Betty, and you go to work here. First quarter, even for about the first 12 points, but then you really played well the rest of the quarter after it was tied at 6.
Yeah, I think that, when we attack and get offensive rebounds, that's a great pass from Samantha over to Steph Smith. You look at that, that's 6'4" to 6'6". Mm-hmm. You can't stop that a whole lot. The key is we're moving the basketball there. Maya's in that nice pinch spot where we like to get her the ball where she's highly effective and, she's at a high percentage.
How about the buzzer beat here from freshman Jill Morton?
That's a great cover-up from the other end of getting taken off the dribble. She came down and hit a 3, so that was a good exchange. We came up 1 on that one.
Michaela Dyer playing consistently these days, would you say?
Yeah, silent assassin.
Silent assassin, I like that.
She's very good at just kind of sneaking those points in. Before you know it, she's up to 13, sometimes 15 to 20. Great steal right here. Jill's pushing the ball, pushing tempo, takes it to the rim nice and strong, gets through the contact. That's good for a freshman to be able to do that with their offhand.
Where is Jill Morton's progress here, the young freshman from Edina, Minnesota, who had a very good productive game for you Saturday?
Well, I think the biggest thing is her outside shooting's improving, as you can see right there, and also she's starting to play through the contact. High motor, high energy. Great kid to have on the floor.
32-28 at the half here. Kelsey Knox with a very strong game for you in the defensive end, also gave you some point production.
Well, that's her game. You know, it's been kind of her MO when she came out of junior college.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was hurt. You know, we talked to her about her shooting a little bit. She's worked hard on it. It's been up and down, but she's starting to find her rhythm. But defensively is her thing.
No doubt.
She's quick. She gets her hands on it. Great pass there to Maya Lloyd. Filled the lane hard. We actually filled our lanes as a team, and that's what we get out of it.
Knox had 5 steals in the game, and that is such a key part of her game. Here's the Maya Lloyd we've seen the last couple of years, driving the basketball, creating opportunities.
Again, get her the ball in that pinch area where she's tough, allow her to attack and be able to do some spin moves.
I didn't think your sweater was ugly, by the way.
That's all right. It was cool back in 1990. That's all I
thought
care
it was
about.
cool Saturday, actually.
Great rebound by Steph, and Leah Zabla attacks the rim right there. You know, and playing through contact is going to be a big key for us and keeping our heads about us so that we can prevail.
Well, Zabla was a real spark for you in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Leah, you know, great shot for Leah right there. Got her feet squared away, knocked it down, you know, starting to find her groove a little. But at the same time, you know, we need her to be aggressive. It's another ball handler on the floor. Again, good push. Takes it to the rim. Again, it was possible because Samantha Roscoe and Maya Lloyd both filled their lanes.
Yeah, so good win for you Saturday afternoon, 64-59. Very balanced attack for you. 4 players in double figures and a 5th player with 9 points. Does that need to be your MO as you look at the big picture of this season, Coach?
Absolutely. You look at all our championship teams that have been at the University of North Dakota, it's always been a little bit more of a balanced scoring sheet. You know, you've had some players that have scored a little bit more, but it's always been balanced, so all that load didn't fall on one person. Now, big players step up in big games. That happens. You can't do anything about that. That's what you want to have happen, but we need to have balanced attack.
All right, you're just getting going here now against Western Illinois. Give us a little preview of tonight's game and then a little look ahead, if you would, to Saturday against North Dakota State.
Well, Western Illinois is very much like Tennessee Martin. It's going to be a challenge for us. They shoot a lot of three-pointers. We got to get out and contest that three-point line, make them do something different. Don't give up the easy driving kicks. The next thing is the school from the South comes in on Saturday there. We'll see what happens. It's a rivalry game. It's definitely a rivalry game, so anything can happen. But we have to take care of business tonight.
Seriously, I did like your sweater.
It was cool back in the day.
I didn't think it was a throwback ugly sweater.
It was 1990. It was cool. Check it out.
I really thought it was. Thanks, Coach, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck this week. We'll talk about these upcoming 2 home games next week here on the show. We're back with more next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
The North Dakota women's hockey team split a weekend series with Bemidji State this past weekend, and defense ruled in both games. In fact, there were 2 total goals scored on the entire weekend. North Dakota won the series opener 1-0. Bemidji State won the series finale 1-0 Sunday afternoon at the Ralph. We take a look at highlights from this one, and both teams were selling out defensively in this hockey game. In fact, the 2 teams combined for 37 shots on goal. They combined to block 39 shots, including North Dakota blocking 22 Bemidji State opportunities. Shelby Amsley-Benzie was looking for her 2nd consecutive shutout against Bemidji State after tossing a shutout in the series opener on Friday afternoon. This game was scoreless for much of it. North Dakota had a great scoring chance here inside the paint, but it goes just wide. And then Bemidji State got the only goal of the game. 55 seconds into the 3rd period, Kristen Huber will beat Shelby Amsley-Benzie, and it would be the only goal of the hockey game, and a series in which even head coach Brian Adolski said entering the game he felt like the first team to get to 1 would win. And that was the case Sunday afternoon. 1-0 the final there, as North Dakota falls to 7-5, 2-1 in the WCHA. And backtrack a bit to Friday in Bemidji when North Dakota turned the shutout, a 1-0 win, as Shelby Amsley-Benzie posted 21 saves. North Dakota will host Wisconsin coming up this weekend. When we come back, we'll tell you about the Holiday Magic from Markus program.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back. The annual Holiday Magic from Markus program is an annual program run by the University of North Dakota football team, current players and past players. It benefits young people in the community who are battling major medical problems. It's a gift-giving and support program each year. Next week, football team members will gather in a gift-giving support will gather with the families that they've selected this year to benefit from the program. Our guest today is Luke Mathewson, North Dakota junior tight end, who has really taken this project the last couple of years and helped run with it with current team members. Luke, thanks for your time today. From your perspective, why is this program important to you and the football program year after year after year?
Yeah, this is something that we can take and just give back. This community supports us. I mean, so much to us. They do, everything for us, and for us just to get back in the community a little bit and give back, and really, in this time of year, we've got finals, we've got tests, presentations, whatever it is. We're going through workouts, and it can be stressful, but this is a great reminder of, what we're trying to do, and puts things in perspective of what life really is and what's going on with these kids' lives, and that what they're going through is, so much more than anything we're going through. And so, it gives us just perspective and gives us a little bit more motivation just to keep going and give back to them.
Yeah, Marcus Bryant was a young man who championed the 2001 football team and really became a rallying point for that team that went on to win a national championship. The team in 2002 suffered a bit, but Marcus was still for them week after week. And then Marcus passed away in 2002, but it was that senior class in 2002 who then launched Holiday Magic from Marcus, and here it is still fostering and thriving this day. You guys went shopping last Saturday, a bunch of you from the football team, right?
Yes, we did. That was quite the experience.
How much fun was that?
Oh, it was a blast. I think, this is something I love to do every year. It's funny, we've got just a bunch of, big football players walking around, Target, and sometimes we're shopping for these little girls and we have no idea what to get. And thankfully there's some moms that are around that will stop by and ask us if we need help, because certainly we do. But yeah, it's just a blast. It's something we love doing every year.
Yeah. This is a foundation now. This is a .org organization. So obviously you are always trying to secure more funding opportunities, correct?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's holidaymagicfrommarcus.org is a website, and it's got all the information about what we do, how it was started. There's background information on it, and a little bio of Marcus and what he did for the team. And then there's a place online that you can donate to it, and any donations are appreciated. They all go right to the kids and to the gifts that we get them every year.
How many families are you assisting this year, Luke?
There are 8 children this year, and I believe 8 families in total. And I think we shop for their siblings as well. So I think the total of kids this year is 15, and it just takes pressure off these families during the holidays that we can go out and take the time to shop and spend that money for them instead of them with those hospital bills and everything.
Well, they're facing such challenges at this stage of their life, families with young people who are battling medical problems. You give them some joy here, and you do it in a way where they don't have to be concerned about it because of the most important things that are on their top of mind, and that's the health and well-being of their young person.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just a time, especially during the party, that they get to get away from the hospital, they get to get away from the sickness, and they just get to hang out with us and with the team and open their gifts and play with them for a while. And I think that's just an amazing thing to see the joy on their face.
How do you decide what to buy? Who helps you with the list? Or is that your creativity, you and the football team's creativity?
Thankfully, they get us a list before we go.
All right, so you got a little hint.
So we do have a list that we go off of, and sometimes we improvise after we've gotten everything and say, hey, we can get them some more stuff, and maybe this kid doesn't have as much stuff as we think the other ones do, so we'll start throwing other stuff in, and I think that's when it gets really fun and challenging, because I don't know sometimes how to shop for an 8-year-old girl. So
well, you mentioned the website, and let's share that here with our viewers. If you would like to donate, if you would like to find out more about this really worthwhile program that has been carried forward each year by the football program, log on to www.holidaymagicfrommarcus.org, and you can certainly help out in any way. And again, your gift-giving program for this coming year is this coming Saturday, which will bring a lot of smiles to a lot of faces on Saturday.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Luke, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Nice job with this program again this year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, too.
Thank you. We're back with more right after this.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RideLCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
We have North Dakota men's and women's basketball and North Dakota men's hockey for you on tap this weekend live on Midco Sports Network. We kick it off Friday night at 7:30 as North Dakota and North Dakota State do battle in men's basketball. That's on Midco's main channel. That's channel 622. The women from North Dakota and North Dakota State get on the floor Saturday afternoon at 2, also on Midco's main channel 622. The men's hockey team in a key series at Minnesota Duluth this weekend. You'll see both games Friday and Saturday at 7 on Midco Channel 2. That's 322. So a full weekend for you here on Midco Sports Network. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for North Dakota Hockey with Brad Berry.